Palace takes revenge on the difficult Duchess, or this is the aides that do. There's a bombshell new book out called Courtiers, The Hidden Power Behind the Crown. And it's published by the today. There's been some articles, some extracts. And essentially what they're showing is a bunch of people who worked, about 5 people who worked for the Sussexes, basically saying she's a bit of a monster. Now, I would just like to say, I think she takes up too much of our time. Now, even though I'm being a hypocrite in here and talking about it because the story is here, but I wish we could just, like, not talk about her or them. It just doesn't bother me. But I will say my hot take is that there are 2 truths that are possible, which is I do believe that she might have been unfairly treated by the press, or there were certainly comparisons in terms of, like, she's wearing a dress and Catherine's wearing a dress, and then that gets treated badly. Now, whether that comes from racism or whatever, but also she can also be a bit of a monster, and she can also be a massive fibber, which has also been proven. So some of the stuff that she's talking about essentially seems like she's possibly been bullying some of her staff, abuse, whatever your line for abuse is. But certainly they were terrified of her and quit. It seems like Harry didn't behave particularly well either. They had a bit of a fit about some tiara, and the Queen had to call him in and have a bit of a telling off. So for the people who don't like, it just frustrates me, because when you're on Twitter and online and you see this stuff, and then everyone hates her in the UK because they're just all racist, and it's like, well, no, because we've read some of this stuff, and she just doesn't seem like a particularly nice person. Like, it doesn't have to come down to it.
She has said things on the record that we can prove were untrue.
Absolutely.
Such as the suggestion that she got married days before her own wedding, something contradicted by the Archbishop of Canterbury, who married the couple.
But this was pointed out in 2018. The Palace press chief wrote to Prince William's private secretary and said that there were some very serious problems with Meghan's behaviour. They didn't say Meghan's ethnicity, they said Meghan's behaviour, and that's really what it all comes down to.
Well, I just question what progression is here. Because we've had these stories, and now a book is coming out, good for you, but where are we going with this? What is the end goal of us identifying that she is an unpleasant person to work for? Like, OK, we've established that. We've established that she...
Have we, though?
I believe we truly have established...
Well, I think in this country, but in the narrative in America is that she's been attacked.
She's certainly...
Not for her actions, but for her...
She's been through schools of staff, which is never the best sign.
It's never the best sign. And also, I mean, my question actually on this, I would like to have some genuine gossip. I would like to know, was there a prenup? Because she behaves in a way of, like, one of these things says, she said, I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this, when she was walking around shaking hands with people. And
I'm always saying that to you, aren't I?
Yeah. Josh says that a lot. We do walkabout sometimes when we do the headliners tour, and a lot of attention.
But in her mind, it makes sense because she is an actress. She's done press junkets where she has to go around, meet people. So in her mind, the marriage is separate. Like, she's married, and to go around and meeting people, in her mind, she should be paid for it. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So there were cultural differences.
It's also, she doesn't realise maybe that she's married. You're married into an institution.
You've married a job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's cultural differences, but I'd be interested more, was there a prenup? And I would imagine that she'd be the one to force the prenup, but then I can imagine that there would be a load of courtiers who would be like, you can't sign a prenup! Like, that's something that I would be interested in.
Where did you even hear about this
gossip.
prenup? Have you got a prenup? I don't have a prenup.
Have you ever heard that there is a
prenup?
They would do that. That's the kind of thing that like American superstars do.
Well, look, I've got to put my foot down about this whole prenup thing.
Do it.
Because I've been married for 20 years. I love Mrs. Dolan very much, and if on the unlikely event that we broke up, I would like her to have half of our debt. I think she deserves that, and it's only right and proper.